midnight, wherever you're at. I'm not sure where you're at. For Gorak over here, it's morning. For everybody else, it's probably night or afternoon or evening, whatever time it is. We are Pink Sock Podcast, and this is Pink Sock Reacts. We are reacting to the 2006 stoner comedy classic horror movie, Evil Bong. I'm excited for this. I'm just going to kind of go through like the movie, like important parts of the movie and what we thought of these certain scenes. So the intro, let's start off with the intro. What'd you think of that, Greg? The whole like pot leaves and ooh, wicked weed coming from the devil's seed.
I was actually like,
how's that for a horror movie intro?
fucking very 7-ish.
Thank you, Dustin, for joining. I love the intro. And then after that beautiful intro we had of pot leaves and smoke, we see this Jesus statue with a joint in its mouth.
Yeah.
I want that for my house. We have this Jesus statue, and then you see one of our main characters, a nerdy college student by the name of Alistair McDowell, who is one of the. There's like 3 people in this movie that have last names. The rest, just first names. Did you notice that, Greg?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Alistair McDowell is one of the few people. There's a couple, but there's not very many people who have last names in this fucking movie. I have no idea why. But Alistair McDowell is our nerdy, straight-edge college student. He's walking up to this door, and he rings the doorbell, and he gets greeted by Larnell, who thinks he's a snitch or a cop. He thinks he's a narcotics officer. Like he keeps having all these freaking assumptions, but instead we find out that our dear friend Alistair is just looking for a place to stay, and it's $80 a week. I do believe is what it was. Yeah, but this was 2006. That might be not as cheap as you'd think.
I wish rent for me now was like that.
Well, what made me laugh even the best is I've been in some shitty living situations, when I lived in Arizona and shit, but not this bad. They're like, I thought I had my own space, and he's like, this is space. This whole house is your space. It's our space. It's everyone's space. You're paying for the space. And then he was like, I'll even throw in a bed for like $10 extra.
Yeah.
You threw the bed down. Now, our character Alistair is introduced to 2 other people who are also main characters. Your typical surfer stoner Bachman and a former baseball player Brett. These 4 people, I should say, are some of the main characters that you'll see throughout the movie. So it is important to know who they are. Alistair is studying, and there's playing video games. Which one was it? Brett, I think it was, or Larnell. One of them was playing video games too loud, and Alistair got up and fucked with his game system. He was so far in the game, he was so pissed. This was back in the day where you couldn't save. And he was mad, but then you heard a knock on the door. And then we are introduced to a gentleman by the name of Rabbit, who is a main character in all the other films, but he is standing there with this package. He's a FedEx driver or whatever driver he is. And they're like, what is this? And Alistair's like, it's the package you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, the package you've been waiting. Now, this is acting at its finest. It's the package you've been waiting for. The package I've been waiting for. The package you've been waiting for. And apparently, we learned earlier on in the movie that they had ordered this evil bong from a magazine that was haunted, supposedly possessed. The previous owner had died. So it's that bong. Well, they end up, it's claimed that it's possessed, and after receiving the bong, they took a couple hits. with the exception of Alistair, because he's our straight edge guy, so he's not smoking from this bong. Brett then introduces Alistair to his girlfriend, Luann, and her friend, Janet. Alistair ends up developing a crush for Janet. And our nerdy friend ends up having a crush and ends up falling in love. Love at first sight. But then later that night, Bachman, our friendly stoner surfer guy, he ends up smoking a little bit too much out of that bong, and he ends up like this. That's literally how he is on the couch. He's like, and everybody's like, maybe he smoked too much. Well, he ends up waking up in a strip club.
Yeah.
Where he then meets this little ooga booga guy who masturbates a lot. Did you catch that, Greg?
No, I didn't. I probably missed that part.
Okay, there's the scene where he gets introduced by one of the strippers. The stripper sits him down, and this stripper has a shark or a skull head for her bra. There's that little skull head, and the skull head bites the guy's neck and kills him. Well, that little Ooga Booga guy's masturbating while this guy's being killed. Rewatch the movie. He's whacking it while this guy's being killed. It's fucking awful. That's what makes this movie amazing. But he gets killed, and then the next morning, his roommates end up discovering that Bachman is dead on the couch.
Yeah.
How awesome. Alistair tells them that it's probably the weed they smoked, and they're like, no, we all smoked the weed. It's not the weed. They said, but we have a party tonight. So they hid Bachman in the basement. His dead body. Underneath, what they hide him underneath? They hid him underneath a pile of trash, wasn't it, in the basement?
Yeah.
Poor guy. That's one way to go. But I am happy that Alistair's smart. He's like, well, the coroner would know he'd been dead longer than 24 hours. And they're like, oh, fuck it. That's future us's problem. So they hid the body. They almost got caught by Larnell's paralyzed and wealthy grandfather. He's in a wheelchair. He came out and he's like, I got a woman. I'm married now, blah, blah, blah. And Larnell's like, did you get a hot side piece for me? He's like, no, but she's attractive and blah, blah. Then you find out she's this old lady with like a fucking walker. And he's like, oh, she's a bit worn out because I gave her a go last night. That's fucking hilarious. If you don't like the aspect of it being a stoner comedy, dude, at least we got to both admit it is a great stoner comedy film, if not a good horror movie. What do you think?
To have a stoner horror movie, I don't think it's never been done like that before, has it?
No, but Evil Bong is an original.
There you go.
And this movie, yeah, and this movie is kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street meets Cheech and Chong, kind of. But
if Nightmare on Elm Street meets American Pie.
Yes, exactly. But let's get back to our friends, because later on, the Bong speaks to Larnell, and Larnell only. It's just him by himself, and the Bong's talking to him. The Bong is trying to tempt him into smoking out of her. And I know your tensions are high. You're thinking to yourself, oh my God, don't smoke from it. Hi, Frederick. That's not what the Bong said. I'm just saying hi to people in the chat. Oh, but the Bong ends up tempting him to smoke out of it, and then he ends up waking up in the same strip club. Now, this is the part of the movie that confused me. Bachman's dead. However, when Larnell goes into the Bong, he ends up meeting up with Bachman. Because Bachman is in the Bong too. But he is unscathed, unhurt. He's fine. So does the Bong actually kill you? Because he's dead in the real world, as we think. How the fuck is he still alive in the Bong world? I don't know. They never answer this. That's the one thing that drives me nuts about Evil Bong, is they just kill people and then don't explain anything later. But he ends up being introduced to And his grandfather's there. Did you notice that?
What's that?
Larnell, when he shows up in the Bong World,
Yeah.
he ends up meeting up with Bachman, who's presumably dead, but he's not. And his grandfather's there. How the fuck did his grandfather end up in the Bong? Yeah, but he didn't smoke out of it.
I don't know. That's maybe he was trapped in there.
Like, what would you do if you were stuck in a bong like this, Gorak? We're taking a little break and seeing what you would do.
If I was stuck in a bong like that, dude, I'll party with the strippers.
You'd party with the strippers and don't let them kill you.
No.
You got to know what you're doing, Gorak. You party with the strippers and don't let them fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Now, that's confusing. His grandfather's there. Fucking Bachman's there. I don't understand what the hell's going on. But Larnell ends up getting a lap dance from a stripper who has a shark on its bra, and he ends up getting killed. But we don't know if Larnell is actually killed because Bachman was killed and he's still alive. So who knows? But what was stupid is Larnell put his hands in the shark's mouth. Like, why?
Yeah.
And then it got ate. Now we're going back into the real world. We're going back to the real world. Luann and Janet ends up going over to their place to play Trivial Pursuit. And after they play the game, the group decides, with the exception of Alistair, to take a hit from the bong. After Brett and Luann pass out, they wake up in the same strip club and they're greeted by Jack Attack, and Luann is taken away by a bouncer. Brett is then treated by another stripper who happens to be his ex-girlfriend, Carla Brewster.
I remember that. Yeah.
Carla Brewster is our second person that has a last name in this series. My question is, how are these people that didn't smoke from the bong in the bong? Is it just a dream that the bong created? Like people that they created, or do they make up their own dream? Like, what the fuck?
I reckon they make their own dream up. It would be nice to know how they got in there, but they never did.
Yeah, they never explain how, like, you know, how the fuck are these people still alive after being killed by the bong? I don't know. But we aren't really introduced to Larnell, though, during this sequence. But Alistair ends up getting his dick bitten up. The stripper ends up eating his dick off pretty much. And then, meanwhile, Alistair is starting to figure out in the real world what is going on. Janet falls prey to the bong and passes out. At this moment, a random guy busts into the room. How he knows where they're at, who the fuck knows? But we are introduced to the third person with a last name, Jimbo Leary. And they're pretty much, Alistair's like, how the fuck did you get here? Who are you? He then explains, hey, man, I'm the owner of the bong, man.
Yeah.
And they're like, I thought you was dead. No. My wife and I got divorced and she sold all my shit, man. And me and my friend smoked out of this bong and no one survived, man. And Alistair's like, wait, but you're alive. Yeah, man, except for me. Like this.
He's like, he fits in so well with those type of movies.
Right? Tommy Chong, by the way, of Cheech and Chong fame, plays this character, Jimbo Leary, which is incredible. Now, he starts to explain, of course, the bong. Her name is Evie. She has a name. And there's a voodoo curse on it. And once you take enough hits from it, it brings you to the Bong World. I'd slap her with my dick before she eats it, Fred says. But he explains that it takes you to the Bong World and then it kills you. In order to save Janet, Alistair takes a hit from the bong and instantly goes to the Bong World. Now, this is when all the real action happens. Up to this point, what do you think of the movie, Gorak?
Keep going.
All right. Meanwhile, in the real world, Jimbo tries to destroy the bong with a hammer. He fails. He tries with a chainsaw. He fails. So then he ends up EB ends up getting mad at him, and she starts blowing marijuana smoke out of the bong. And Chong's like, "I'm a professional. You ain't gonna get me, you bitch." And he's sitting there like standing.
Yeah. My question is, when he picked up those weapons, were they just there, or?
That's what I'm wondering. Did he just show up with like a chainsaw and a hammer in his pocket?
Yeah, like.
And let's not forget, he also has a bomb.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, he had a bomb. So, but she ends up having enough smoke to send Jimbo to the Bong World. Meanwhile, in the Bong World, EB is forcing the strippers to seduce Alistair, but he breaks them off. Once he finds a stoned Janet, they take the vitamins. Now, Jimbo, before they went to that world, gave them these pills to help them get out of the Bong World once he goes there.
Yeah.
Now, Jimbo explains later on, he's like, what are these? He's like, oh, they're just vitamins, man. They're just regular vitamins. But they end up taking those vitamins, and then they end up sober again. Jimbo, who has just got sucked into the Bong World, tells them to go ahead and escape while they still can, while he takes care of EB, and they are greeted by Bill Moseley, who is the gatekeeper of the Bong World, which I think is cool.
It took me a while to notice him in that.
Yeah,
he's different.
Bouncer. Yeah, he's a bouncer.
Yeah.
It's a different movie for him. But Jimbo then reveals he comes up to EB, shows EB the time bomb now strapped to his chest. Jimbo activated the bomb and blew up EB and apparently himself. Now, this is the part that gets really confusing. Okay. Alistair took the vitamins, and so did Janet, so they can leave the Bong World. They're the only ones that take this, by the way. However, in the real world, Alistair and Janet wake up, Larnell wakes up, Brett wakes up, Luann wakes up, and Bachman wakes up. So the vitamins are essentially useless. Like any other plot in this fucking movie, because all of these people are dead and now they're waking up.
Yeah.
The presumed...
Unless if they died in their dreams. And then, they wake up. Or maybe they dreamed about it when they were passed out, smoking that. And it was just all in a dream.
That could be it too. All this could have just been a dream. But, it's just weird that the vitamins were to wake them up before they got killed in the dream. But Bachman was still alive after he got killed. None of it makes sense, as you realize. And it's a stoner film, so it's not supposed to make sense.
Yeah.
But the bong is now shattered into a million pieces. And the last scene we see is Jimbo sitting on a throne with these strippers. And he's
I like this part. This is the best part in the whole movie. Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The funniest part in this movie, and this made me fucking laugh. He goes, you guys can play what was it? He said something about, do you guys want to play with something?
Oh, yeah. He's sitting on that fucking throne, and he's the king of Bong World. And he's like, my first rule of business, man, is I want you to play with something. And he's like, Lincoln. And he's like, my Hot Wheels, man. He pulls out Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it's stuck, man.
Did you watch after the end credits? There's an end credit scene.
I can't remember that much now. From
the end credit. You just wanted it to be over?
Yeah, pretty much.
During the end credits, you can hear EB's voice, and she says that she will be back as the King Bong.
That makes sense now.
Setting us up for a sequel. There are 8 Evil Bong movies total. 9 if you include versus Ginger Dead Man. Me and Gorak might be reviewing most of them until we give up. Now, Gorak, favorite scenes of this movie?
Favorite scenes? The ending.
That's it?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You didn't like the movie?
It was average.
Did you at least think it was a good comedy film?
Well, like what I was saying to you when I was watching it, it was kind of like watching American Pie. It's like watching a stoner version of American Pie.
That says a lot because American Pie is kind of a stoner film.
Yeah, but this is next level shit.
But like, so let's let's do this. Okay, what is your review? How many bongs out of 5 do you give? Well, out of 10, how many bongs do you give this?
4.5.
4.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Well, you
But
honestly,
then it's an original. I might give it a 6.5 because it's original. But if it wasn't, you know,
like if it was like a
original.
stolen idea,
Yeah, if it was like a stolen idea and it wasn't original, it would have been a 4 for me. But since it's the original, it's the original concept. No one hasn't done it. 6.
would you like to know before I give my rating what Rotten Tomatoes rates it?
Oh, isn't it low?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because I noticed like some of the ratings, it's like 3.5 out of 5 or whatever it is, or 10.
Yeah, it's about 3.5.
Yeah.
It's a 3.5 on IMDb as well. So you rank it what, a 6.5 due to originality?
Yeah, I think so.
I
It's
give
not
it
the best, but it's creative.
I give it a 6.
Yeah.
I do enjoy this movie, and it is a movie that I do enjoy putting on like as background noise or as like just to enjoy watching a movie. But it's not an amazing horror movie, and it's not supposed to be. It's a stoner comedy film. So if you go into this, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to watch a great horror movie. No, don't. Your first giveaway is Full Moon Features. And if you know anything about Full Moon, they do B-rated horror films. They are the studio.
And some B-rated horror films are really, really good, like Velocipasta.
A good movie that Full Moon put out, Puppet Master.
Yeah. That's on, I think, I can't remember which one. I've seen it across on Shudder.
It's on Shudder, I think.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if it's the first one, because how many of those have they made?
Puppet Master?
Yeah.
Jesus. Puppet Master 10, 11. They made 11 of them.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I do believe there's 11 of those bitches. Let me double check.
That's pretty crazy for a franchise movie.
Well, the thing with Full Moon Features is they will release. Yeah, there's 11 of them. If you don't include crossovers and reboots.
Oh, okay. No.
And spinoffs.
Yeah.
There's 11, but if you include spinoffs and crossovers, 14.
Damn.
Yeah, and these movies are crazy. Like they don't have any continuity, as you noticed. Kind of like Evil Bong, they don't have any continuity. One movie takes place in 1 year, okay, I think 1960s or whatever, and then the prequel movie takes place after the events of the first movie. Yes, the prequel takes place in a year after the original movie, even though it's supposed to take place before the movie. So Evil Bong gets a total of what, 6 for us?
Yeah.
My favorite scenes, I have to say, I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than you did, obviously. I like Tommy Chong though. He did a great job in the movie.
It's his movie. That movie was made for him.
Yeah, the only argument I have is what a lot of people have. He was commercialized to be in the movie, and he didn't show up till like the last 20 minutes.
Wouldn't it be good, like if he was like the main character?
Yeah, and he's not in the other movies.
Oh, really? Is he just on that one?
He's just in this one. He died at the end of this one.
Oh yeah, and he was playing Hot Wheels.
He is in Evil Bong 2 has an intro that like explains how we got to this point, and he's in that. but it's all old footage from Evil Bong 1.
Okay.
Evil Bong 2, 3, I think 4 all have the original cast. Now, the original cast does make sporadic appearances in the other movies, but not all the time. Now, next week, we are doing Pink Sock Podcast again. I'm going to be doing, because we're going to keep doing this until the rails fall off. We're going to keep doing Pink Sock Podcast. So Pink Sock Podcast goes live at noon on Monday. Then I'm going to be on Dabs with Dads at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, you good with Wednesday again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure, because I know sometimes Wednesdays are weird for one of us. We are going to be reviewing the movie. Were you able to find it before I announce this?
Which one? Number 23?
Yeah, were you able to find it?
Yeah, I can just rent it, so it's all good.
We're going to be reviewing the number 23 next Monday. It is a Jim Carrey film, but it's not your typical Jim Carrey film. It is a psychological horror film starring Jim Carrey. So I'm excited for that. Tell all of your friends about Pink Sock Podcast. Subscribe.
Doesn't he look ripped in that movie?
He does. I think he got in shape for that movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And he's got like some cool tribal stickers on his body.
Yeah, those were, I think, could you imagine having to add that on between scenes?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Evil Bong. Go check out the movie if you want. Gorak says no. I say yes.
Have you got any movie recommendations for anyone to go and watch, new or old?
Nope. For new movies.
Yeah, I was going to say that, or Prey.
Also, for older movies, I haven't really been watching a whole lot of older movies, but my go-to is always, and you're going to laugh at me because of what I have here, Star Wars.
Is this the original VHS?
The original VHS theatrical release versions of all the Star Wars movies.
You guys still use VHSs in America?
No, I do.
I was gonna say, it's like people still buy DVD movies when you can buy Blu-ray or 4K now.
Well, the reason why I buy VHS tapes still is because when they transferred, especially the Star Wars, when they moved them to DVD, they edited a lot of things and changed the movies. So the only way to find the original format and the unedited, untouched version, the original that you watched when you was a kid, you have to buy the VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Because they're not available in DVD.
And sometimes the originals are always a bit better.
Yeah.
Than what they do with the remastered and stuff.
Well, with the Star Wars, like Han shot first during the Greedo scene. In the original movie, he just shot for no reason. Well, for a reason, but he just shot first, I should say. He just shot the guy. Greedo in the remake shoots and then Han Solo shoots to make Han look like the good guy. So, yeah. But next week, we're going to be doing the number 23 for Pink Sock Reacts. We're going to be doing a Pink Sock podcast episode. We're just going to be discussing whatever happenings we think of.
I think we should discuss the new Addams Family.
We are going to discuss the new Addams Family, the new Munsters. We can discuss all things. We can just discuss horror if you want.
Yeah, if you want. But I'm since we were talking about the Addams Family before, how you said it was based in the 1930s, the original.
Yeah.
And we can shut down the haters for this one.
All right, let's do that. Let's talk about Addams Family. Let's talk about the Munsters, because I've been watching a lot of Munsters TV series.
Me too. It's on YouTube, so
it's also on. I think Tubi has it.
Oh, really?
I do believe it's Tubi that has it. But yeah, that is our thoughts on Evil Bong. Did you want to watch the others, Greg?
Oh, I would watch King Bong for the hell of it.
The movies are not bad, but they do get weird. Now, to explain to all the people listening that's not seen Evil Bong or don't plan on seeing Evil Bong, do you want me to go through and kind of do a brief explanation of each movie?
Maybe we can save that one.
because I think this is going to be fun, because I think this is going to change your mind. You're going to want to watch them. Evil Bong. Well, let's explain number 23, since that is next week. The number 23 is the next movie we're going to be reviewing. It came out in 2007, so it came out a year after Evil Bong. It is a thriller film written by Fernley Phillips and directed by Joel Schumacher. Jim Carrey stars as a man who becomes obsessed with the 23 Enigma once he reads about it in a strange book that seemingly mirrors his own life. The film was released in the United States on February 23rd, 2007. This is the second film to pair Schumacher and Jim Carrey, the first being Batman Forever. So a little bit of cool facts for you about number 23. So go check out that movie and watch it, and then you can hear us review it. Here's some interesting facts that I had found about Evil Bong before we cut out of here. The Evil Bong movie does feature characters from other full moon movies. So if you watch other full moon movies, you'll notice some of the people that was in both. The clock in the Stoner's dorm always reads 4:20. So if you see any clock in the dorm, it says 4:20.
Yeah.
As of 2017, Sony Carl Davis, the guy who plays Rabbit, is the only person in all of the movies, including the spinoffs. Some goofs. When they first smoke from the bong, they don't even fill it with water. You don't even see them fill it with water.
No, they're just smoking that.
Yeah. When Larnell is playing Super Mario World, the arcade music isn't even from Super Mario World.
Okay.
Also, EB, the Evil Bong, and Evil Bong isn't even a bong, if you noticed. She's not. She's a hookah.
So they should rename it to
Evil Hookah?
Evil Hookah, yeah.
Evil Hookah? But
yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, like Evil Hookah, man. Evil Hookah, it would be the shit.
It just sounds more evil.
Now, Evil Bong reminds me of Friday the 13th a little bit, I will say. No, you know why?
Why is that?
Evil Bong 1, good movie. Evil Bong 2 is a sequel to Evil Bong 1, direct sequel.
Yeah.
Evil Bong 3 isn't really a sequel. It has the same characters, but it's not really, and it takes place in space. Oh, there is, like, they get abducted by aliens and shit. Bong aliens. So it kind of does what Friday the 13th did. Take away from the complete story and go to space. Evil Bong 420 takes place in a bowling alley. Evil Bong High Five takes place in the Bong World, completely in the Bong World. Evil Bong 666 takes place in hell.
Oh my god.
Evil Bong.
You're right. This is kind of like Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Evil Bong 777 takes place in Las Vegas. So instead of Manhattan, New York, they go to Vegas. And Evil Bong 888 takes place in a restaurant.
That one might be really good to watch.
That one just came out not too long ago.
To watch?
Yeah, it's on Tubi and shit. It just came out.
Oh, nice. Could you imagine if they'd done like a crossover of Evil Bong and Jason X?
Evil Bong and Jason X? That'd be hilarious.
Mm.
They need to make that a comic book or something. Evil Bong versus Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Or how about Evil Bong versus Freddy Krueger?
Yeah, that will work because like you're both like, you know, the people are stuck in their dreams.
Yeah. Like
then they all get high and Freddy comes along and you know.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger goes into the Bong world and starts slashing. But that was Evil Bong, guys. We're gonna get off of here.
Then I take the vitamins and they're waking up, and then like Freddy's like pissed.
Have Hulk Hogan give the vitamins. Take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother. But
Ric Flair comes out.
But Gorak, we're gonna get off of here. This was Evil Bong. Before we get too far off of subject, Evil Bong is an interesting movie, a fun movie. Don't listen to Gorak. Check it out for yourself. If it's a horrible movie, I didn't tell you to watch it. Go check it out. And as always, guys, remember, live long, rock hard, peace, take care, and positive vibes.